We live.
Okay, we are live. Can you see
We
that it's
live.
live?
Yeah, I can see. Can I see
Oh,
what?
okay, that it's live, that
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I
recorded.
see the recording at the top. It
Okay,
shows.
amazing. Hey,
Buddy.
how are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Very hot. It's so hot in the UK right now, and we are just not prepared for hot weather, even though we say the same thing every single summer. But yeah, it's horrible. What about you?
It's hot over here too. It's hot, but it's always humid around here. It's like
Mm,
it'd be hot. It's hot today, and then tomorrow it'd be raining all day, or it'd be like at 5 o'clock it'd be raining, and then or at 5 o'clock it'd be hot, and then 5:01 it's thunderstorming. It's like it's
oh my
crazy.
God.
The
Yeah, that
weather.
sounds a lot like London, where I'm
Yes,
from.
like what? No, you can look to the right and it's thunderclouds and it's rain coming. Like you can see when the rain is coming in this direction. It's so crazy. But then it'd be sunny over there. It's like what in the world? But this weather
Yeah,
for sure.
bipolar. Okay, well, I'm gonna give you the pleasure to introduce yourself to the
Hmm.
audience. So
I
go ahead.
appreciate that. Hello, hello, audience. I'm Najee. I call myself an emotional awareness specialist, so I specialize in helping people learn how to properly regulate their own emotions by helping them learn to respond to how they feel instead of reacting from it. So pretty much that's what I do, and I help people shift their perspective by giving them a new lens to look at life from.
I love that. Wow, that was a great elevator pitch. I need to do one for myself.
Hey, for real, and it's crazy because I can do so many different directions I can go with the pitch. Because if I want to like get people to start to feel into it, it's like, wait, can you imagine when you were 5 years old and you're just going through something weird?
Go on,
Man,
let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear that one.
hear that one. So, how I like to do it is like, imagine like as a kid, you wake up and you all alone, and you just wish that you had somebody there for you. What if that person that you wish that you had there for you ended up being you? Like, what if you were able to show up for the little girl or the little boy inside of you when you were going through your toughest times?
Don't make me
How would you feel?
touch.
How would you feel? And it's like, man, I would feel like relieved and I would feel less pressure. And it's like, yes, that's what emotional regulation is all about. Learning to show up for you in the ways in which you wish somebody else did, because you're the only person who know what you wish you could have said or done whenever you experienced that hurt or that pain that you were enduring at that moment. It's kind of
Oh.
like getting people to go, and I appreciate it, getting people to go there to be able to relate. We all go through things where it's like, man, I just wish I had somebody who was here for me during this tough time. And it's like, what if that person taps you on your shoulder and it's you, the 35-year-old you, the 40-year-old you, 50-year-old you? And it's like, that's what healing is all about: restoration of wholeness, integrating the parts of you that you had to disassociate from, disconnect from as a way to survive. So, yeah,
Oh,
something
wow.
like that.
I love that. And it's so true because it's like, I think a big part of this whole human experience is about just trusting yourself, having that faith within yourself. And for
Hmm.
people who are religious, like if you believe in God, to believe in
Hmm.
God is to believe in yourself as well,
Yep.
right? So
Hmm.
if you're doubting yourself, then you're doubting God. So
Yep. Facts. Because
it really is.
I always say belief is like a thought that you have an emotional charge to. And a lot
Mhm.
of times it's the emotional charge that you pour or that you give to the belief that makes it real. So if you don't put that energy into that belief, will it actually become real? It's like, no, if you don't, you as kids, we really thought Santa Claus was real until we learned that he wasn't. So that belief didn't hold the same energy because that thought or that story wasn't there anymore because we knew the truth. It's like, man, as kids, you really thought there was a boogie monster under your bed, so you were scared because you thought there was a boogie monster there. But then it's like once you get to a certain age, you realize like, oh, there's no boogie monster there. So that energy that I was putting into the belief of believing that there was a boogie monster, it no longer is there anymore.
Damn, yeah, no, it's so true. So, I want you to explain your bio to me because it's interesting.
What the questionologist one part?
Yeah, technology,
Yeah. So I
technology.
pretty much just made that up because I just like to ask questions and I'm very,
Mm,
very introspective. Like I love asking myself questions and I love asking people questions because I feel like a lot of the issues that we have in the world is because we never really question things. So it's like,
mm,
why do you believe what you believe in? Who taught you to even believe that? It's like, is that your belief or is that somebody else's belief? Like, so I call it a questionologist because I just like to ask questions and to get people to look at things from a different perspective. Because once you understand who you actually are, you'll realize a lot of the stuff that was taught to us doesn't reflect who we are. It reflects who we had to be as a way to survive. And now it's
Mhm.
like you're living in survival mode. You're not a survivor. I mean, you're not living in survival. You don't have to continue to live in survival mode anymore. You can actually live life. And living life is you authentically showing up as you are, because we're not
Yeah.
kids anymore. So you don't have to get punished for being the way that you are, because who's gonna give you a whooping? Like, nobody's there to tell you what you
Mhm.
can and cannot do anymore. You have the freedom to choose, and that's the beauty of life. As kids, we didn't have the freedom to choose. We had to do it or else. Now you have the freedom to choose. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to, and that's okay.
I love that. And then what about the part of your bio that says subconscious seed planter?
Oh yeah, I just plant the seeds in people's mind to get them different perspectives. People are like, damn, I never thought of it from that perspective. It's like, yeah, that's the whole point of life. Life is perspective.
Hmm.
Like, once you understand you can change your perspective, that doesn't mean you're less of a person or more of a person. It's just understanding your perspective. It's just your point of view. But your point of view isn't who you are. It's just how you see the world from that perspective. So I
Yeah.
just like to plant those seeds, and I always say I like to plant the seeds and allow and let white life water them, because a lot of stuff people are like, man, I never really understood what you meant till I went through it. And it's like, yes, now you get it.
Mm.
Like, you don't have to possess a person in order to love them. You can have healthy relationships. You don't need to set boundaries to be able to express yourself. It's okay to communicate. It's like, oh, so much of the stuff that we've been taught in programs comes from a place of fear. And it's like, my biggest thing is helping people understand you don't have to always move from a place of fear. There's nothing to continuously be scared of unless you're actually experiencing physical harm, or unless you're actually about to be hurt. But outside of that, we just get triggered based on our perspective. And it's our point of view. And it's based on how we're interpreting things, which is really a reflection of how we feel within ourselves about ourselves based on what we're seeing or hearing another person say or do.
Mm. So how did you get to this sort of like mindset? Like how long have you been in this mindset and how did you get there?
Life is the greatest teacher for me.
Yeah.
Also just being able to go through experiences, like, I would say breakups, relationships was like a key component, but I always kind of had my views on it. I just never understood me. So it's like
Mm.
in relationships, it was able to show me different aspects of myself that I was unaware of. So I
Yeah.
remember when me and my ex broke up, I was sitting there crying. And I'm like, what in the world? And a part of me just like, damn, I feel like a 3-year-old. And then I had to think about it. What happened to me when
Oh.
my little brother was born? It's like, okay, what happened when my little brother was born? That attention that I once was accustomed to experiencing as a 3-year-old has shifted. And then as a kid, I took it. We always take everything personal because all we know is our own emotions. So it's like,
Mhm.
oh, mom was depressed. She was sad. She was going through it because she just had a baby. So then, and her going through it, I internalized that as like, there must be something wrong with me because she's not
Yeah.
getting that same attention. So that breakup was able to show me that. And then like going through school, lost my scholarship my senior year in college, not based on anything that I did, but because the school presidents were stealing money from the school. So they had to cut athletic funding, and they cut it. And I was out of state, so I wasn't going to go back to school. But my whole sense of identity was about being a basketball player. So now basketball wasn't there. It's like, who am I? So then I had to like do a deep dive. I was watching a whole bunch of documentaries. I was diving deeper into religion. I was diving deeper into sociology, psychology. I just, anytime I go through like a heartbreak or a heart opening, my heart is being exposed. It kind of helps me figure out, okay, what was going on within me. And that was
Mhm.
kind of the snowball that kind of got all this started, just going through different experiences and helping me kind of realize, like, man, this is the same feeling I felt with this ex, and the same with her, and the same feeling I felt with somebody else. Is like, hold on now, I can't keep making it about them. I have to look in the mirror. What's going on with me? And that's
Yeah.
all this started for me.
Oh, I love that. And it's like because the same lessons repeat until you actually learn them.
Yeah.
So it's funny you saying that you just look back at all your exes and just like, oh yeah, that happened with that and that happened with that. And
Hmm.
that's the reason why that was happening. And it's like, yeah, all these things are happening so that you learn from it. So
Yeah. I think
going
too,
back,
I was just gonna say this one thing. I think life gives us the same experiences over and over, and it's the way we react or respond to those experiences which lets you know you're not the same person. So if you get presented with the same situation and you still react the same way, that means you're the same person. So you'll continuously go through that
mm,
experience. But if you get presented with this same situation and you respond differently to that situation, that means you're not the same person. Therefore, it won't have the same effect on you as it once did.
I love that. That's very like manifesting vibes as well to shift your identity. You got to
The
react
energy,
differently to your
for
situations.
sure, for sure.
Going back to what you said like a few moments ago about how, you know, people would say, "Oh, I understand that now because they went through it."
Mhm.
Like, do you think we have to go through certain experiences to like fully understand certain things, or is there a way around it where we can still understand without experiencing that?
No, you can still understand. There's certain things you have to go through to be able to understand it, but there's also certain things you don't have to go through to be able to understand it. I can see a person touch a stove and burn their hand to know I don't need to go over there and touch that stove to burn my hand to know it hurts. So I think it's just circumstances and situations. It varies. A lot of the stuff when I say about like relationships and my views on relationships, people can't really understand. Like I tell people, like you don't have to. A person doesn't have to commit to you in order to love you. A person doesn't have to possess you in order to
Oh,
appreciate you. And they're like, no, I'm not accustomed to that until they experience a healthy relationship where a person just shows up for them because of who they are, as in the individual person, not because they made an agreement or they signed a piece of paper. It's like, no, this person is genuinely being who they are and they're
mhm.
appreciating you in the space by allowing you to, or they appreciate you in the space based on who you are. So it's like, I don't need to try to restrict you in order to love you. I don't need to possess you in order to love you. I don't need to tell you what you can and cannot do in order to accept you. I'll just do it because I choose to. We have the
Mm,
choice. And people are like, nope, I ain't never experienced a person doing that until they experience like, oh, now I understand what you meant by healthy love doesn't come with commitment or doesn't need to be reciprocated. It's like, no, you just genuinely show up as you are and love from a space of authenticity to where now
mhm.
you're flowing with life instead of resisting it or fearing it or trying to possess it, control it, limit it, or stop it from being anything other than how you don't want it to be because you're using fear to govern how you relate and connect to other people. I don't do that anymore. So it's like you have to go through the healing part to recognize like you don't have to. You can experience hell without. I mean, you can experience heaven without going through hell. And that's my favorite quote. I tell people like, hey, you don't have to go through hell to experience heaven. You can experience heaven right now. Just change how you view these
Mm.
experiences.
A quick one on that.
Hmm.
I You said you don't have to experience hell to experience heaven, but I also believe that like we're here to experience the contrast. So
Hmm.
like we wouldn't be able to appreciate or feel heaven if we don't know what hell feels like, right? Or not, right?
You wouldn't be able. Well, not. So it's just understanding the duality of life. All
Mm,
energy is the same. So I see all energy is the same. Like I
yeah,
always tell people, like, what's the difference between feeling excited and feeling nervous? It's the same energy. It's just how you relate to it. One is relating from a place of fear, and one is relating from a place of love. It's all based on perspective. Heaven and hell
yeah.
is love and fear. So it's like you can fear something, but you can also love something as well. It just depends on how do you relate to that thing that you're experiencing. It's the same energy. It's not
Mm,
like this energy is heaven and that energy is hell. It's like no, it's the same energy. It's like on a spectrum. Where do you fall in that spectrum?
yeah. Like what one are you choosing to see?
Yes, that's a hell is more of a lower frequency, more of a fear-based frequency. Heaven is more of
Mhm.
an enlightened frequency, but it's all along the same line.
Mm. And what would you say to someone who is going through like hell
Yeah,
on
you
start seeing
congratulations.
heaven?
Congratulations, you're going through it, which means you're not in it. You're not stuck in it. It's not a fixed situation. And a lot of times it's understanding what life is preparing you for is the evolutionary growth that you need to endure as a way to go to the next chapter. Most of the time it's like we want a comfortable growth. And it's like a comfortable growth is more of a limited growth. You're not actually growing, you're just staying stuck. It's like, well, I'd
Mhm.
rather just stay stuck in this familiar hell instead of living in the unfamiliar heaven because it's more safer to our mind. Because
Yeah.
your mind likes to predict and protect as a way to keep you safe. So it has to take past pain scenarios projected into the future to give you a reason to be scared. It's like I fear
Mhm.
the unknown. I'm like, no, you don't fear the unknown. You fear what you project into the unknown to give you a reason to be scared. Because if you didn't know what's to come, why would you be scared? But it's just funny because it's like you have to go through these experiences to help you become more aware of yourself. So if a person just feel like they're going through hell, ask it's more so asking yourself, what is about this situation am I resisting? Because fear is a restrictive energy, love is an expansive energy. Anything you want to resist is based on there being a fear of a certain outcome that you don't want to experience because you don't think you'll be okay. but 10 times out of 10, you will be okay. You just don't think you'll be okay because you're looking at it from the lens of limitation because you're scared, which is okay. But that's not a truth. It's just a story. And you don't have to continue to live in that story because that story doesn't reflect who you are. It reflects who you thought you were based on who you were prior to experiencing that. The future you will be exactly ready for whatever you're enduring in the future. But and you thinking that the future you won't be ready for what you're enduring now because the future you hasn't existed or
Yeah.
the future you isn't there. And then it's like, nah, you're using your past you. You're not the past you anymore. So it's like the past me can't handle this situation. But 5 years from now, you'll look back and be like, damn, I thought I would never be able to get out of that. But I needed to go through that to get to here.
Exactly. So in saying that,
Mm-hmm.
wait, I want to go back to the conversation about relationships and then we'll come back to the whole manifesting vibes and magical vibes. Let's get the triggering stuff out the way.
Triggering.
Because, okay, so you say that we don't need to commit, right, in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I also saw in one of your videos that you said that saying you're in a committed relationship is like manipulation.
Yeah. So so I'm big on intent. So if a person says, hey, I'm committed to you, as long as you're committed to me, that just means you're not actually committed to that person. You're committed to receiving whatever you think you're going to get from that person by telling them you're committed to them. Does that make sense? The perfect question I like to ask people is like, would you ever be committed to a person that you knew would never commit back to you?
No.
And that's the reason why, because you're not getting the outcome that you think you're going to get by saying you're committed to them. So it's like, no, I would never commit to a person that I told or that would never commit back to me. Why? Because they're not going to give me what I want. So that commitment isn't to the person. That commitment is to you're telling that person you're committed to them to receive something. Because all a commitment is, if you really break it down, commitment is just another word for expressing yourself. So when I say I'm committed to having this podcast or having this conversation with you, I'm committed to honoring my word based on my relationship to my word, not based on my relationship to you. Because if a person is a liar, you're not going to be like, oh, you're only a liar because of the person you lied to. No, you're a liar because of what you choose based on your ability to honor your word. If you're not a man or woman of your word, it's not based on the person you're expressing your words to. It's based on your character as an individual person. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But then aren't we like, if I'm saying I'm committed to someone, I'm still honoring my word by committing.
Yeah, but you're committing to them, meaning you're expressing to them that you're going to do something. You're not committing to them, meaning you're in a relationship with them, because you're not in a relationship with anybody outside of yourself. You're the only person that knows what you think, how you feel, and what you see inside of your head, how you feel inside of your body. Like we've been taught, because we're looking through the lens of relationships based on how we view them as kids. As children, you were in a relationship with your mama, because literally your nervous system, you were in her stomach, you're in her womb, so you became a part of her. That's why if you hug a kid's mom or hug their dad, it's like, no, that's my mommy, get off my mommy. Because they're territorial, they're protective, because as kids, their whole livelihood is based on their parents seeing them and hearing them to take care of them. We're still looking at relationships based on how we view them as kids, based with us thinking that, hey, if I say this to a person, then that person's behavior will change because of what I said. We take things personal, and that's what children do. So it's like, no, your commitment isn't to the person. Your commitment is to honoring your word based on what you're expressing to that person. So if I tell you I'm gonna meet you at the movies at 5, you're not gonna be like, oh, we're in a committed relationship because you just committed. You're gonna meet me at the movies at 5. It's like, no, we're both agreeing to honor. We're both expressing our words, and we're choosing to honor our word based on our relationship to our word, not based on our relationship to each other. That's why people go from committed relationship and then they have a conversation. All they do is tell that person, guess what? I changed my mind, and we break up. So now I can go and tell another person, hey, I'm committed to you as long as you're giving me what I want. And then it's like, oh, you're not giving me what I want. You know what? I'm no longer committed to you. I'm gonna commit to somebody else. It's like, it's a way we use commitment as a way to manipulate in today's society, because it's like, as long as you're giving me what I want, I'll tell you I'm committed to you.
But then aren't we all just manipulating each other?
When it
Like,
comes to intent,
aside from relationships and stuff, like work wise and just life in general, like friendships. Like we wouldn't be friends with our friends if we weren't getting some sort of value,
But you
support
don't, you
from
don't, you
them.
don't, but you're not doing it with the intent to receive something from that person. Your best friend, you and your best friend did not have to make an agreement for y'all to naturally flow.
Mm, that's
And
true.
that's where I'm coming from in regards to things. We naturally come in alignment with the people who reflect us back to us. It's a certain frequency. So to me, it don't make sense. If I want to hang out with you and you want to hang out with me, why do we need to make an agreement to do the things that we want to do? Like you naturally want to do that. You naturally want to have this conversation with me. So now it's like, oh, I need for you to agree that you're going to have this conversation with me in order for me to be comfortable with having it. It's like, no, we were already having this conversation prior to that agreement being made. You already had a relationship with that person prior to
Yeah.
ever saying, let's commit to each other. But again, we use commitment as a way to restrict and limit another person because we're scared. People who want a commitment from another person usually have abandonment issues. Like you get to the root of it, they're scared. So it's like I need reassurance, but
Mm,
reassurance is coming from a lack of trust. So you don't actually trust that person to be a certain way without that commitment. That's why you want that commitment there to kind of keep them restricted. So now I can hold you accountable because you told me you were going to do something. But it's like, why do you need to hold another person accountable? If a person's not going to keep their word, that just is a reflection of their character. You can't hold a person accountable based on their character. We're grown-ups now. We're not children.
mm. So then what if like, so then how does it go then? Like if I want to be with someone
Mhm.
long term,
Mhm.
surely there has to be some sort of like communication
Yeah,
for
but
them
you're
to know.
communicating. Yeah, but you're communicating. Are you communicating as a way to restrict that person, or are you communicating as a way to let that person know your perspective and how you feel?
Um, I guess a bit of both, maybe. Like, so for example, if I start talking to someone
Mm-hmm.
and I really like them,
Mm-hmm.
but they might not know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so I would want to reassure them.
No, you wouldn't want to reassure them. You would just want to communicate that to them.
Okay,
Yeah. But
so
if
I'd
you
be
tell me,
communicating.
yeah, if you tell me you like me, are you telling me you like me so that I can tell you like I like you too, so that we can be in a relationship, so you can get us like what will be the intent? I think intentions is to me, I break it down very simple. Your intentions behind dealing with a person is either rooted in selfishness or selflessness. You're either doing it with the intent to receive something or doing it with the intent to give. But if I'm doing it with the intent to give, then that's I'm not looking to receive because I'm choosing to give because that's what I want to do. A lot of times people try to loan out, oh, I really like you. And it's like, no, you like the feeling that you attach to me. But when you don't like that feeling, which is already your relationship to that feeling, then it's like, oh, I don't like them anymore. It's like, no, you don't like the feeling that was triggered based on how you saw that person initially. But that
Yeah.
was already in you. Because if you're okay with how you felt, would you want that other person to commit to you? No. But when people aren't okay with how they feel, they like, oh, I want you to commit to me because I love you. But it's like if a person says, I only want what's best for you as long as it benefits me, would you think that person actually want what's best for you? No. But
No.
that's what relationships are. It's like, hey, I'll only show up for you as long as you're showing up for me. And it's like, if you need me to show up for you, in order for you to show up for me, don't show up for me. It's cool. That's perfectly fine with me. I don't.
Look, go on, what was I going to say?
I was just gonna say, I just don't need to restrict the person. Like we're autonomous human beings now. If you want to hang out with me, you want to spend time with me, you're doing that because that's something you choose to do, not because we made an agreement for you to do it. Why would we need to make an agreement for you to do something that you want to do? It's like, oh, I want to have a good time. Let me make an agreement with you. Like, I'll only have a good time with you as long as you're choosing to have a good time with me. Like, we don't need to do that.
Mm. But then everything's an agreement. Like, a cup is a cup because we've all agreed that it's a cup.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We don't be like, I'm in a relationship with a cup. You don't say I'm in a relationship with my car. Like we only the only it's so
Yeah, but
crazy.
because we've made an agreement about relationships and what a relationship is. So it's like we're just following that agreement.
Yeah, but
Like,
a relationship is just a connection shared between two or more things. So everything that you can relate to as a human being, whether you're touching it, tasting it, seeing it, smelling it, hearing it, eating it, like these are relationships that relate. How do you
Mm,
relate? How do you relate to yourself through the experience of another person? It's a mirror. Relationships are mirrors. Relationships are reflective. But it's not because you made an agreement. No, you already have a relationship prior to that agreement ever being made. But again, we've been taught and programmed to view
yeah.
relationships based on an agreement. But it's like, no, you can agree today and say, hey, guess what? I changed my mind. And the relationship be over. Why? Because it's just a mental construct. There's literally no such thing as being in a relationship with another person. You can't. How can I be in a relationship with you? Oh, if we both agree, then we magically become in a relationship. And it's like, what?
Yeah, but that makes sense to me.
It makes
Because
sense because
it's like it's like okay, so we've made an agreement that a cup is a cup and it's
Mhm,
something we drink out of. But it's
mhm.
like you're trying to say, yeah, but the cup can be anything. We've just placed the agreement that a cup has to be drunken out of, but it could be an accessory item. Like it
Yes,
doesn't
but
have to be a
we're
cup.
talking about titles now. Titles don't define the relationship. It's just how you identify it. So a relationship is just a connection shared between two or more things. To say we are in a relationship is you almost like trying to identify the dynamic that you have with that person. But that just because you say you're in a relationship with a person, you've been in how many relationships, hypothetically speaking? You've been in 5 different relationships.
Mhm.
If all those different relationships, you call that person the same thing. This is my boyfriend. This is my boyfriend. They all got the same title, but they're
Mm.
all individually different. No two people are the same. So just because you place the relationship title on it, that doesn't define the connection that you have to the individual. Most people have an emotional attachment to the word and not based on the story of the word and not
Yeah.
the actual definition. I'm more of like I definitions. We go off the definition. So a relationship doesn't become a relationship once you say, "Hey, we both agree that this is a relationship." No, you already this is a relationship right here. You have a relationship with your mom. You have
Yeah.
a relationship to your car. You have a relationship to your bed. You have a relationship to your toothbrush. Everything that we relate to is our relationship to the thing that we're relating to.
Hmm.
But it's all based on our relationship to ourselves.
So then how would it be then? Like, so you're saying there shouldn't be any titles of like boyfriend and girlfriend and stuff, or
No, you can if you want, if it makes you feel better. It's a false sense of security.
it
Like
does.
they want
It makes me feel better.
I want to, but that's to me, the ego likes to attach itself to something outside of itself to give itself some validity. It's like Pinocchio and I'm a real boy.
Yeah,
He
but
knew he
isn't that
wasn't.
what we're here for? We're here for the fairy tale-ness. We're here to just create
Yeah,
reality to however we
explore,
want it to be.
explore, experience, and express. I say that's what we're here for, to explore, experience, and express. But I think that the fantasy is more of the story and not the reality. I live in the reality. The reality of once you accept things the way that they are, you can actually flow instead of you don't have to convince yourself that, oh, I want to live in a fairy tale princess land. It's like, no, you can actually do it. But you don't need to tell a person like, hey, I'll only be able to live in this fairy tale if you agree with me that we're going to live in it together. It's like, no. If you want to be here because you want to, not be here because you made an agreement that you had to be here. Because at any point in time, you could leave
Yeah.
because I can't control your autonomy. Like you're choosing to have this conversation with me. Why? Because it's something that you want to do. If you want to
Mhm.
be with me and I want to be with you, why do we need to make an agreement to do that? Why not just do it?
Mm. Yeah, I guess it just all boils down again to like the programming and conditioning of what a relationship is and what it requires and
Performing,
that stuff.
being in a relationship is performance. That's what I had to learn. I was performing. I was playing a role. Like as a boyfriend, you must put on this mask. As a fiance, you must put on this mask. As a husband,
Yeah.
you must put on this. You're still the same person. It's like you're not. It's nothing is changing. Like you're not a different person because you get a title boyfriend. You're not a different person because you get the title fiance. You're not a different person because you get the title husband. The title
Mm.
doesn't define the person. It's just how you identify the role that that person is playing.
Mm.
Are you a
So
wife?
then, am I a wife?
Mhm.
No, not yet.
So you're not a wife until you get the title of being a wife.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So what are the character what is the characteristics of a wife? Somebody saying, I choose you, be my wife. That makes you a wife.
Um, the characteristics
Hmm.
of being a wife.
Hmm.
I don't think. for me, there are like certain characteristics that go with that title. I think like people might say, oh yeah, like, you know, you'd cook and clean and do whatever for your man if you're a wife. And if you're not, if you haven't got a ring on the finger, then don't be doing his dishes or whatever.
Yeah,
Like don't be doing wifey duties.
yeah.
But
Slave,
in all,
slave duties. That's what people. A wife was literally it was a house slave. That's what's so funny because propaganda flipped it all around. Like being a wife was never about the love that you had for a person. It was a survival thing. That's why the woman takes the man's last name because that's the same thing the slaves did with the slave master. The ring symbolizes ownership. How do you know a woman is owned? Because she has a ring on her finger. She like it's how do you the dad you go to ask the dad for his daughter hand in marriage because the women were considered cattle. They were considered property. It was never like love, but propaganda changed it to sell more rings and to tell people like, hey, in order to experience this happily ever after, you need somebody to say, hey, I choose you. And it's just like, yeah, you can experience that happily ever after without being chosen. You can experience by loving yourself. But that
how
goes, huh?
how do you do that?
By loving yourself
How
and
do you love yourself?
by accepting all parts of you, by showing up authentically as yourself without looking to another person to validate you, to reassure you, to tell you that you're worthy, by knowing that you actually are just based on the fact that you're here. It's really understanding how connected you are to you. Most of the stuff that we've been taught is to teach us how to disconnect from ourselves to connect to something outside of ourselves. So it's like now you feel like a wife because this man just validated the fantasy that you created in your mind about what it feels like to be a wife. But that feeling was already there before you ever got validated by him. It's like, no, I will not allow myself to feel like I'm a wife until somebody tells me I'm their wife. It's like, no, that feeling is still there. You can close your eyes and think about being a wife and feel that same emotion. It's like we
Yeah.
just been taught that our emotions come from the things outside of us, and that's not how it works because the emotions
Mm.
are already within you.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, I've always said, like, I wouldn't wait to become a wife to start doing like wife duties. I think a lot of women would probably be like that as well. But
Yeah.
like, if I love someone, then I would do everything I'd be doing now as a wife.
Yes,
Or,
because
you
it's
know,
who you are. But relationships or being in a relationship in today's is transactional. So it's like as long as it's like a give and take. But
yeah.
transactional relationships are rooted in selfishness, not selflessness. People are seeking to have an emotional connection, which is rooted in selflessness, feeling seen and feeling heard and feeling like you matter. I don't need to possess you to have an emotional connection with you. But we're seeking to have an emotional connection, but we're using a selfish mindset, a transactional mindset behind it. That's why a lot of relationships don't work out because people aren't genuinely connecting to a person for who they are. They're connecting to a person as a way to escape from being with themselves because they don't like themselves. So it's like now I can project onto you and make you wrong for being the way that you are whenever I get triggered because you're showing me me. I don't want to be with me.
Mm. So then what do you do instead then?
Love. Connect to the part of you that feels unsafe within you. Connect to the part of you that you learned to disconnect from because you didn't think it was worthy of connection because you felt like your mom or your dad didn't actually accept you. It's like I
Mm.
showed up as this part inside of me and I got rejected for it. I experienced pain from it. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
now you have to heal that. Again, healing just means restoration of wholeness. You have to connect to the part of you that feels alone because it felt like you abandoned it, you disregarded it, and you neglected it from 6 months to 7 years old, we don't have our level of awareness. We're not consciously aware of the fact that you could think. We're just flowing with life. I use the perfect example. It's like from 6 months to 7 years old, it's like we have a mirror. Instead of the mirror facing us, we face the mirror outside of us. So now we're seeing everything from the mirror is like capturing everything. And then perception
Mm.
that mirror back onto us. And now we're seeing the version of us that somebody else taught us to be. That's all like
God,
insecurities
I
is.
love that. Mm.
Then when we get triggered, we flip it on to them. It's like, oh, they trigger me because I'm feeling this way. It's like I always tell people, your mind, when you go through a traumatic experience, your mind will always look out for danger instead of looking in for how you feel. Why?
Mhm.
Your mind doesn't know how to properly regulate your body. It's safer for you to be in your head because your mind can't feel pain than to be in your body where you're feeling the pain. That's where the
Mm.
disassociation comes in at.
So then if we're feeling triggered, like
Mhm.
let's say um, one of my friends is bullying me
Mm-hmm.
and that is triggering me.
Mm-hmm.
Do I connect to the person, to the version of me that's feeling triggered
Mm-hmm.
and then act from love?
Mm-hmm. Ask for acceptance. So a lot of times when you get triggered, you get triggered based on the wound already being there. So like I can't trigger something in you that's not already in you to begin with. So when you
Mhm.
get triggered, that just means there's still a wound there. So the trigger is there to bring awareness to the wound, not to bring disconnection from it. And a lot of times we disconnect from the wound by making it about the other person. So it's like, you made me feel this way. You
Yeah.
brought up this trigger inside of me. So as long as you're focusing on them, you're not being present to you. So unless they're putting your life in danger, so if they're not fight or flight situation, or they're not putting you in harm's way or trying to kill you, then I would tell you to pay more attention to what it is that you feel within your body. Do you feel your throat closing up? Do you feel your stomach sinking? Do you feel your heart racing? Because those are natural stress response that your body takes or your body
Yeah.
does whenever you feel unsafe. But as kids, unseen and unheard to a kid means you don't matter. Not mattering to a kid means you're about to die. So if you just feel unheard and unseen, then that's more of an internal thing. That's not an external thing. That makes sense.
Mm. But then what if like where do people set boundaries? I remember last time we spoke about boundaries and that word.
Yeah, boundaries are
Oh,
for folks
there's no
who don't
such
know how to.
thing really.
Yeah, they don't know how to regulate their own emotions. Everybody who's like, anytime I hear a person say boundaries, I'm like, oh, I know that they're carrying a lot of trauma because people don't realize boundaries are not how you protect yourself from another person. Boundaries are how you protect yourself from feeling that emotion that you never learned to be okay with feeling. So it's like, oh, you trigger me. So now I'm gonna set a boundary on you, but really you're setting a boundary on the part of you that got triggered. Because if you're okay with how you felt, you would not need to set a boundary. You would just express that you the way you feel. But once a person starts to feel unseen and unheard, they start to feel
Mm.
it's unsafe. Now communication now becomes a boundary. Why? Because you're triggered. You feel unsafe. You're not listening to me.
So then what if, like I said, like let's say my friend is bullying me
Can you
and
give me an example?
they're being really mean and they're like, you're so ugly
Mm-hmm.
and you're fat.
Mm-hmm. So I would
And that
say
made me feel really upset
it revealed the
and
feeling
it
of
triggered
upsetness.
me.
So it revealed the feeling of upsetness that you already had. So I always tell people, like, if what a person is saying about you isn't true, realize they're not talking to you. They're talking to themselves. You're just their witness. You're just their
Yeah.
witness. But if a part of you feels like what they're saying is true, then you will be offended by it because you feel like it holds truth.
Yeah.
But that's based on how you feel about you. That has nothing to do with how they feel about you because it's based on how you're interpreting what they're saying.
But then where do we sit with like the whole boundary thing? Like, do I just allow
No,
the
you don't have
person
to.
being mean?
No, you don't have to. So the boundary is you get to choose. So a lot of times when I talk to people and they talk about boundaries, it's like I have to tell them like, hey, if you keep doing this, then I'm gonna do this. And I'm like, that's not a bound, that's more of an ultimatum or a threat. To me, if you're gonna set a boundary will be like, okay, I was like if a person's yelling, I would say, I'm not gonna communicate to you if you're yelling. That's it. Because I'm talking about what I'm going to do. It has nothing to do with you.
Mhm.
I don't have to respond to you. But a lot of times people misuse boundaries as a way to again to manipulate. It's like, hey, if you keep doing this, I'm not going to do this. No, if they keep doing it, you can choose to leave and you don't have to tell them that. But it's like, well,
Mhm.
I want to give them a chance to know that I'm setting a boundary. It's like, oh, most of the time when it comes to boundaries, boundaries are for people who never felt like they had a voice as a kid and now, as a way to give themselves some type of power, they're now saying, like, hey, this is a boundary and you can't do this. It's like, no, expressing yourself is not setting a boundary. Expressing yourself is telling the person what you got going on and how you feel. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't need to set boundaries to express yourself. But again, communication only becomes a boundary when people feel unsafe. They start to feel unseen and unheard.
And they feel like a victim kind of
The
thing.
victim to their own emotions, 1,000%. Anytime you make somebody else responsible for how you feel, you're living in a story of you being a victim. Because I always tell people, if I can't tell you, hey, since I'm responsible for how you feel, be happy right now, even though you're upset. If you can't change your emotional state of being based on me telling you to change it, then I'm not responsible for it.
Yeah, but what about if you like if you're in a, well, I don't know,
No, and
relationship.
you can say in a relationship. Yeah,
If
all of
someone's
it.
in a relationship
Mhm,
and, the girl wants to go on more dates and do more things together,
mhm,
and the guy is just not doing anything,
mhm.
like, what does she do? Does she communicate it? Does she, like, how does she communicate? I think is what I'm asking. Like,
It's
does she say, I'm not going to be with you anymore unless this happens?
no, I wouldn't commit. If that's something she wants to do, then by all means you can express like I would love to go on more dates, but just if you want to go on more dates, pay for them. No, I'm just playing. But
No.
that'd be the thing where it's just like a lot of times when it comes to these things, it's because people have a certain idea of how they want another person to be. Like we already have a preconceived idea of boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. So now you don't want an actual human being. You want a character. You want somebody to play a role. So now it's like, oh, I want to go on more dates because in my head, I envision my boyfriend as being the version of me that I want to show up for me instead of being the version of me that I am to me. A lot of
Mhm.
times we want another person to treat us better than how we treat ourselves. It's like if you want to go on more dates, how often are you dating yourself? Can you do it alone? It's like, no, I want to go with him. Okay, so when you do go on dates, are you appreciative of the space and him making the time to show up for you on that date? Or are you like you wanting more and you want more and you want more and you want more? A lot of times the issue is people want more of a person because they feel like they're not enough. And it's like going on more dates. Do you feel like you're less connected to this person? So the dates is your way of bringing y'all together. Like, what is the intent for wanting to go on more dates? Is it because you want to post on social media so people can see you have a man? Like, what is your intention behind it? Is it because you're hungry? Like, what exactly are you trying to go on more dates for? Because that's the key to it. It's like really understanding your why.
Mm. Hmm. So then, so then going back to like relationship, the whole relationship thing.
Mhm.
So are you for relationships or
Yeah,
like
I
if
love
you,
relationships. I
okay.
love relationships. That's why I talk about them so much. It's just the way we go about relationships is very unhealthy. Most people have never actually experienced a healthy relationship before. Why? Because they don't have a healthy relationship to themselves. So they're using fear as a way to govern how they relate and connect to another person. So it's like, I have a fear of losing you, therefore I love you. And it's like, no, you have a
Mm,
fear of losing them because you have abandonment issues because you don't love the part of you that's scared. If you love that part of you, then you wouldn't need to try to restrict and limit somebody else based on fear. Because it's like, no, I appreciate you in the space of being here because you don't have to be here. A lot of times people get in relationships because they want to place the emotional, they want to place their emotions on another person. So it's like, I want to make you responsible for how I feel instead of recognizing that feeling's already within me to begin with. Like,
mhm.
no, I love relationships because they're a beautiful thing when it's done from a healthy perspective. But most relationships aren't done from a healthy perspective. How you know? Based on how they relate to each other after they break up. Can you still be cool with that person? If you took the obligation and commitment out of that relationship, would you still show up for that person the same way? No. Why? Because it's transactional. But that goes
Mhm.
against the whole concept of wanting to be accepted. Like being in a relationship is the complete opposite of loving a person for who they are. Because if I loved you for who you are, why would I need to be in a relationship to do it?
So do you think it will take more time to get to that stage where you would be like fully committed without
No,
being
I tell
expressing commitment?
no, it's just commit to yourself. That's what I don't ever want nobody to ever commit to me because your commitment isn't like unless you're expressing to me like, hey, I want to meet you at the movies at 5. I'm committed to coming to the movies at 5. That's one thing. But committing to me in regards to you not showing up for yourself, you neglecting yourself for me, no, hell no, don't ever do that. Because a lot of times the commitment that people want comes placed on them limiting themselves. So I'm willing to suppress myself to be with you. And it's like, no, if you need to suppress yourself to be with me, don't be with me. I want you to always put you first. I want you to take care of your own emotional needs before you ever feel the need to show up for mine. Like, show up for you first. I'm big on teaching people how to become independent of me, not that they become dependent upon me. Because in you becoming dependent upon me, you lessen your value as a person because now you're going to look to me as your resource instead of looking to yourself.
But it's quite a big risk, would you say,
That's
without
fear. You keep projecting fear into it.
Yeah, I am.
That's literally everybody that I promise you, whenever I have these people project so much fear, I was gonna make a video. It's like, you know how I know people have never been experienced a healthy relationship? Because they always project fear. And it's like, I get it why you would be scared, but the reality of it is if you're coming from a healthy, loving space, you're going to attract somebody who reflects you back to you. People treat you how you treat the part of you that you don't like. That's why I always say you can only love another person to the level in which you accept your least favorite part within you. Your least favorite part within you is the part of you that you still don't want to accept. The hurt little girl, hurt little boy. So now the hurt little girl and hurt little boy is governing why you want to be in a relationship. But that's
Yeah.
coming from a place of fear. It's like going grocery shopping when you're hungry. Everything looks good. But what happens when you heal yourself? Now you're not looking through the lens of connecting to a person as a way to restrict them because you're not scared. I trust life. I trust me. I'm not afraid to experience whatever life has in store for me because I trust that I'm gonna be okay. Life always works out for me. But when you think life don't work out for you or it won't work out for you, then you will try to control things outside of you as a way to keep yourself safe. Like I tell people, if you knew life was gonna work out for you no matter what, would you still want a person to commit to you? No. For what? If you know it's gonna work out. It's like, no, I don't know it's going to work out. That's why I want them to reassure me that they're going to be a certain way in order for me to feel more comfortable. Like, no, I trust people to be themselves. I don't trust people to be me because they're not me. I trust me to be me, but I don't need for you to tell me you're going to be you in order for me to be me. I'm going to just be me. Why not? I don't know how to be anything other than myself.
So then let's say, for example,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting to know a girl
Mm-hmm.
and you're starting to really like her,
Mm-hmm.
but actually, I think I've just answered my own questions. I
Let's
think I
hear
know
it.
what you're gonna say.
Let's see. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so you're getting to know this girl and you really like her,
Mm-hmm.
and but she's talking to this guy and that guy and this
Mm-hmm.
guy and that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, fair, it's early days, but then you carry on for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
but she's still giving her time and attention to someone else. Like, at what point do you stop? But I think what you're going to say is that you probably want to track that because that's not what you're giving out.
Yeah, that and it's for me, I accept people for who they are. So for me, there's only one me in the world. You can experience a million different guys, they'll never be me. I promise you that. So my confidence comes from who I am, not based
Mm,
on who you connect to. Like a lot of times people are worried about, oh, I don't want you to connect to them because then you might find them better than me. A lot of people don't feel like they're enough. They
yeah.
they live in a story of not enoughness. So when you feel like you're not enough, you're going to try to restrict another person based on how limited you feel within yourself. If a woman that I like is talking to multiple guys, do it. I want you to put you first because at the end of the day, it's your journey that you need to live. If it's not meant for us to be together, guess what? We won't be together. I don't need to force you to be with me. I don't need to tell you not to talk to nobody else. You're going to naturally wing yourself off of wanting to talk to other people because you like me for who I am. If you're not a 304, if you're not a hoe, I can't tell you to not be a hoe. It has to be something in you. Like I love this is a this question I love to ask women. If the man of your dreams or your husband said, "Hey, baby, I love you. I'm gonna always be committed to you. I'm here for you no matter what. But I want you to know you have the freedom to go out and have sex with as many guys as you want." Will you now turn around and go out and start having sex with a whole bunch of different guys?
Absolutely not.
Why not? Because it's not something that's in you already. So if it's not something that's in you already, why do I need to make an agreement that you're not going to do something that's not naturally who you are?
Mm.
It don't make sense to me. But in today's society, again, we're looking at relationships from how
But
we
people
view them.
change.
Yeah, but people change. But that's the beauty of it. We don't know what the future holds. But a lot of times people are like, I can see myself being with you long term. And I'm like, no, you can't. Because you don't know how you're going to feel 5 years from now. It sounds good. Are you the same
Yeah.
person you was 2 weeks from now? Did you know a month ago that you're going to have this conversation with me today at this moment? No, we don't know what the future holds, but we like to project into the future as if we know what it holds. And it's like, yeah, I want to
Mm.
spend the rest of my life with you. No, you don't. You don't know what the rest of your life endures. I mean, comes with. Like, you don't know. You're not the
Yeah.
same person that you're not the same person. You're not going to be the same person a year from now. You're not going to be the same person 10 years from now. But a lot of times we think, oh, how you are now is how you're going to be 10 years from now. So it's like the version of this person that you can see yourself spending the rest of your life with exists in this present moment. It doesn't exist in the future, but you tell yourself that again as a way to manipulate. That's why I always like a lot of these stuff, a lot of these conversations that people be having is so manipulative because we know it's not the truth. Like you don't know that. You know how you feel in this moment, but every moment is just a moment, a moment, a moment. Like
Mm,
there's no like, oh, I know 5 years from now that I'm gonna be here. No, you don't. You think that, you want that, you hope that, you wish it to be true, but in reality, you don't really know. Because life isn't meant for us to try to control it. It's meant to flow with it. Because
mm,
it's already finished. Like we don't like deja vu is the perfect example.
mm.
Yeah, I had a few experiences of that. Like it's crazy. That's why I'm like, it's already life is already in line for how it's supposed to go for you.
Damn, I
We just
haven't had
think that
deja vu in ages. What does that mean? I'm not in alignment.
yeah, you're in alignment. When you see angel numbers, you're in alignment. So I had deja vu when I was in college. Freaking I was in junior college, and when I signed to university, I remember in junior college I saw like it's crazy because I saw being about to sub into the game in a championship. But I didn't know it was the championship in my dream. I thought I was dreaming until I actually was literally in the game and I looked up and I'm like, hold on now. I've seen this before. That's crazy. I remember talking to this woman. I've never met her, but I was talking to her. And first time I walked into her house, I'm like, what the hell? I've seen your house before. Your whole how her living room was set up and everything. I'm like, I've seen this in
Oh,
a dream. That's crazy. But it's like,
yeah.
and this was like 2 years prior to ever meeting her. So I'm like, oh damn, this is like, oh, this is deja vu. Like a lot of stuff be happening where it's just like, oh damn, I've seen this before.
Yeah, deja vu's be the glitches in the matrix.
Yeah, because again, all this stuff that we be going through, we think we can control a lot of stuff, but you really can't. You just control your perspective and how you choose to view and operate from life. That's the beauty of it.
So how do you know that you're at that point with someone and that you're in a relationship with them?
How do you know what you mean?
Yeah, like how do you know? Like how would you know that you're in a relationship with someone without putting that label on it?
Well, you're the relationship within itself is the connection. So the being in a relationship is more of a restriction. So you're trying to restrict the person, but I don't want to restrict you. If I love you, I want you to do what's best for you, regardless of me. And if you love me, you'll want the same because we're coming from a place of love, not coming from a place of hurt. A lot of times people project hurt and call it love. So it's like if I love you, I would never try to intentionally harm you in any way, shape, form, or fashion just based on my character. So I don't need for you to make an agreement for with me in order for me to be a stand-up guy. I don't need for you to make an agreement with me to for me to not try to harm you. I don't need for like to me a lot of the stuff that we need to make agreements for don't make sense. It's like if a person is going to break into your car, they're going to do it because that's what they choose to do. But what if it's like, okay, I need for you to make an agreement with me that you're not going to break into my car? It's like, well, that means you don't trust that person if you need to make that agreement with them to not do it.
Mm,
So why would you need to make that agreement? Again, it goes from the reassurance thing. It's like, oh, I need to make an agreement with you so I know we're on the same page, which means you're not actually on the same page outside of that agreement being made. Because why would you need to make it?
that's true.
Yeah, it's because I value character though. I value authenticity and a person genuinely being themselves. So I don't
Hmm.
connect with a woman based on future-based plans. I don't know what the future holds. You're one of one. I just met you. So how can I have a preconceived idea in my head, a story that I'm making up in my head that I want you to play the character for? It's like I don't know you, but I'm open to experiencing you and seeing what life has in store from this experience because there's a reason why you're here. There's billions of people in the world, and at this moment in time, I'm talking to you right now. There's a reason why, because we're meant to be here. We're what comes from this, I don't know, but I'm open to it. I trust life. People
Mm,
don't trust life. They don't because they don't trust themselves. I know I'm gonna be okay. I don't need for you to tell me.
experience.
Period. Life got my back. Literally, life always has always worked out for me. It always works out for people, even when they
Mm,
think that it's not. It
yeah.
is. It's, you don't recognize why you're going through this experience because you're so focusing on what you're experiencing now and not understanding there's a the journey for it. Everything you ever prayed for, you're experiencing it right now. We just pray for the end goal and not the journey to get to
I love that. Like it.
it. I appreciate
Um, so you have been in a relationship before,
it.
as
Yeah,
you said
absolutely. Hmm.
earlier.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying though. Like, how did you like if you're at that stage with someone where you're in a relationship with someone,
Hmm.
But obviously you haven't communicated that label,
Mhm.
and
No,
someone
so what? So how I am is I value character. So for me, your character will show based on who you are.
Mhm.
So if you're not a 304, why would I need to restrict you from being something that you're not? If you're not somebody who talks to a whole bunch of different guys, why would I need to restrict you and be in a relationship to know that you're not going to do it? Like for me, be with somebody who naturally does all the things that you enjoy about a person without needing to make an agreement for them to do it.
Mm.
That's why people manipulate. Because I can tell you anything. And a lot of times, especially with women, women love words. They don't care about the meaning of the
Words of
word.
affirmation.
They just love the words. But the thing is, like I said earlier, people attach stories to words instead of definitions of words. So it's like, be my girlfriend. Oh, that means you chose me. That means you want to spend the rest of your life with me. That means I'm the only person you got eyes for. And it's like, no, that means in that moment, he's choosing to want to possess you. That's it, based on the emotions that he attached to you. But you're in a relationship with the feelings, not the person. Because once your
Mhm.
relationship to that feeling shift, so will how you see that person. So now it's like once your perspective of a person changed, so will the feelings you attach to them. Because it's all an internal thing. You're only in a relationship with you. But again, we tell people we're in a relationship with another person, which is really just a story that we attach to them. It's a
But
mental concept.
it's similar with friendships as well, right?
Mhm. Yeah, but you don't have to tell a person. You don't be like, I'm in a relationship with my friend. I'm
Yeah,
in a
but we
relationship.
still say, yeah, that's my friend.
Yeah, but
That's my friend.
it's the context in which you're using it. You're not saying that's my friend as a way to possess them. You're saying my friend as a way to explain your relationship to that person. You're not gonna be like
But
my
then
friend
can
is.
I do the same with a boyfriend?
Yes, it's the context of it. So the context of it is more of a possessive thing. It's not more of a friend. My boyfriend. So if it's your boyfriend, can anybody else hang out with him? If it's your friend, can anybody else hang out with her? Can anybody
No.
else sleep with them? It's like that's where it's like no, they can't because it's mine. Again, it's a childish perspective. It's like my mommy, my daddy, mine. Why? Because children are selfish. Naturally, they have to be. It's a survival thing. But we're
Yeah.
not children anymore. But we're still looking through relationships from that same lens. So it's like this is my person. It's like no, they're not. Before you ever experienced them, they were already existing prior to you. So when did they become yours? When they agree that they're yours? Like just because you make an agreement, you don't magically become mine. You still have your own autonomy to choose. It's like we think that making an agreement will restrict a person's choices, but the reality of it, a person will restrict their own choices based on them choosing not to do the things that they're doing, and that's the key to it all.
Mm. So then you're not saying that you're like, was it monogamous?
No, yeah, I can be monogamous, but monogamy to me is just your soul and your body being married, not your relationship to another person. Mono
Mm.
just means one. To me, just marriage, one marriage. So your soul and your body coming together is monogamy. But in today's society, monogamy just means one person at a time
Yeah.
sexually. But you can have sex today with somebody and be have sex with somebody on tomorrow, and then have sex with somebody else the next day, and still be considered monogamous because that's one person at a time. You've been in multiple. You people are like, I believe in monogamy, and I'm like, well, if you actually believe in monogamy, you'll still be with the person you lost your virginity to. So you believe in monogamy based on you telling the person, "Hey, I'm into you and you into me. I'm only having sex with you and only you at this moment." But then we break up. Guess what? I'm gonna go find somebody else to do the same thing with. And then if we break up, I'm gonna find somebody else to do the same thing with. And if we break, I'm gonna find.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, you're not really monogamous at that point because that's multiple people. But
Yeah.
again, today we don't use the etymology of words. We just go based on how people feel. So words really don't have definitions now because monogamy could be anything. So yeah, I don't. For me, if I choose to only have sex with one person, I'm choosing to do it because that's what I want to do. If that person decides they want to have sex with multiple people, I would love for them to be safe and tell me if they are, which is cool. But for the most part, I don't value sex like that because sex is cool, but it's not the end all be all. The root chakra is the lowest chakra for a reason.
Mm.
I don't operate from that. Fear is a restricted, fear is a lower energy. Enlightenment is a higher energy.
Mm.
Mhm.
But your sexual energy is very powerful, no?
Oh, of course, if you know how to harness it, most people use sex as a way to it's backwards because sex
Mm.
is not about connection. Sex is about more of a possession type of thing. Like people don't have a healthy relationship with a person, a healthy enough relationship with a person to even be able to activate the sexual energy. It becomes like how we viewed it as kids, like something you get done, like, hey, I'm having sex now. It's like, no, sex is powerful if you know how to harness the energy. A lot of women don't even know how to be in tune with their own body. They don't know how to breathe. They don't know how to listen to what their body's saying to them. So it's like a lot of the sex that's powerful stems from you understanding it's not about the penetration of it's about your intimacy within yourself. Into me, I see how open you are to being able to
Oh,
see
love
yourself.
that. Into
Yeah,
me, I see.
me, I see. And that's where people, it's like, it's sex, but sex is cool, but I value intimacy. And intimacy starts with emotional connection, not based on a
With
title.
yourself.
With yourself, how in tune you are with yourself, with your own body, how open you are to learning yourself. Because relationships are mirrors, and a lot of guys don't know how to help activate a woman's body because they're not intentional with the connection that they have with her. They're intentional about what they can receive from her, as long as it benefits him. It's not about the benefit of the woman, and that's where again these are backwards because people want to have healthy, authentic, intimate connections, but we're going about it from a place of fear. I don't need to restrict you to love you. I don't need to restrict you to help activate you and help you learn how to love you. I could just show up as me and be a reflection or a mirror so you can see it.
But then isn't that what you said about into me, I see?
Hmm.
Like
And
it's the intimacy is about me and not the other person.
yes, the
Or
mirror.
so then is it a bad thing if the guy doesn't want to take the time to
I don't believe in good or bad. So it's not a bad thing. It just is it is what it is. It's a part of
yeah.
your experience or his experience. I just know life works out. So whatever life has in store for you to endure in this moment is a part of your destiny or your journey. So it's not a bad thing or a good thing. It is what it is. It's a part of what you need to experience. That's why you're experiencing it.
So then like when we're being intimate with people, we shouldn't focus on pleasuring them. We should just focus on
No, no, no.
connecting
If
with
that's something,
ourselves or
no, if that's something that you enjoy doing, do it. Like I'm a big component of do things that light you up,
yeah.
not doing things that don't light you up to please another person. Like, nah, if that's not something you're into, don't do it. Like, period. Because the energy is not the same. It's like, I don't know, like if a girl likes oral, she's doing it because that's something she likes to do versus I'm only
Mhm.
doing this because it's something he wants to do. It's not going to be the same. The energy is not going to be the same. It's like if a person loves cooking, the food will taste differently from a person who's forced to cook and they don't really want to cook.
Mm.
So that's how I am. Like, do things that light you up because to love is a selfless thing. It's not a selfish thing. So if I say I love you, that means I accept you for who you are, and I don't want you to change to be anything other than yourself to make me feel better about me. No. Why? Because I love me. So if I love all parts of me, why would I want to change anything about you? I can be
Yeah.
a mirror for you to see me or to see yourself, but I'm gonna help you learn to love you because I'm here to show you that.
I love that. Okay. Let's go into the mystical side to life and all
Like
the
psychedelic.
goodies. Let's get off this triggering topic of
Trigger, you
relationship.
still trigger? You love? Don't you love it?
Do you know what it is as well? Before we move on,
Hmm.
I think it's like you said, there's no like good or bad, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of people, like being a life coach, I've noticed that a lot of like my relationship sort of subject sessions
Hmm.
often talk about like toxicity and how they love it, and that's why, you know, they prefer the fun guy over the boring nerdy guy,
Hmm.
smart guy, whatever. And it just like, because there's no good or bad, it's like, well, can they just continue with that then
Yeah, if they choose
if
to,
that's what they want to do?
if that's what they want to do, they'll continue to choose it energetically. The person you choose to be romantic with, or the person you choose to be in a romantic relationship with, is just the external manifestation of how you internally feel about yourself energetically. Therefore, they will reflect you back to you, not based on who they are, but based on how you see yourself in them. And most of the time, we date to the level of our self esteem. Men lie, women lie, but energy never lies. So it's not the boring person that you're not into. It's the fact that you don't have that same butterflies or that same trauma response that feels most familiar because you grew up in an emotionally unavailable environment. And
Mm.
oftentimes, unconsciously, We'll choose a person who reflects a parent that we wish we could have changed to love us the most. So it's like I wasn't able to change my emotionally unavailable dad, so I'm gonna be with an emotionally unavailable man and change him to reflect my value. But it's like no,
Mm.
you still are carrying that same hurt of wanting your dad to be there for you emotionally. So now it's like instead of healing that hurt, you heal the person, quote unquote, by changing, or trying to get them to see the value in you because you wasn't able to do that as a kid.
Mhm.
So like, yeah,
Mm.
relationships are love when you love, or relationships are amazing when you actually love yourself. Most people don't love themselves. They're looking to relationships as an escape or a relief. It's like, I want somebody to be my peace. I want somebody to show up for me and only me. I want, it's like, you have abandonment issues. You have a
And that's why
dysregulated
people like toxicity because
familiar.
they, yeah,
People are
they're,
addicted to chaos. The oxytocin, I mean, the dopamine, not the dopamine, the cortisol. They like it because it's what feels most familiar. Your mind, again, your mind would rather you live in a familiar hell than an unfamiliar heaven. Why? Because it can't predict what's to come from something that it never actually experienced. But it can predict what's to come from an experience that it continuously experienced. That's why you continuously choose the same people you choose, because they reflect you back to you.
mm,
That makes sense.
yeah, that makes sense. So,
Hmm.
I want to know because I don't think I've actually even asked you or had this conversation with you before, but like, what are your views on life, spirituality? Like, why do you think we're all here? Where do you think we were before we were born? Where do you think we go after we die?
Oh, energy. We're
I want to know.
conscious. My
Yes.
favorite is the best movie in the world is Soul. I love that movie. I watched that movie. I don't even watch a lot of movies back to
The
back, but
Disney
every
one.
a Disney one, a thousand.
Yeah.
Every time I watch it, I learn something new. It's understanding this human experience. The beauty of it is being able to feel. That's what the body's
Hmm.
for, 3D. So a lot of times we don't want to feel, but it's like, no, you're here to feel, because your feelings are here to help you. They're guides, but we've been taught that you need to disconnect from you. Don't feel this, don't do that. So we're here to have this human experience, to be able to feel, to be able to hurt, to be able to love, to be able to appreciate. These all come from the concept of having a body. But it's crazy because if you think about your body is like, it's amazing because like I always tell people, like, you're like Wolverine. Do you know that? Like if you cut yourself, your body naturally heals itself. Like I don't think
Feels
people
it.
understand how powerful the body is. Like you don't have to tell your body like, hey, heal this. Like your body does it on its own. That's God within itself, but that's a whole nother story. But I think we're here to explore, experience, and express. The beauty of having a human experience is experiencing God in human form, because that's all we are. We're gods having a human
Mm.
experience. We're conscious beings have a human. We're energetic beings have a human experience. So when you die, you go back to the energy in which you're formed. That's why you can hear yourself. You can say your name in your head and hear it without hearing it with your ears and without seeing it with your eyes. You can see a thought in your head without seeing it with your eyes. That's conscious awareness.
Mm.
All we are is awareness. We're conscious awareness beings having a human experience. We're energy having a human experience.
That's literally my bio, that we're spiritual beings having a human experience.
1,000%.
One of my
Because
favorite
spirituality,
quotes.
it's just breath, it's just air, it's just life. That's
Mhm.
all it is, it's just life. But life is in literally everything, because everything is moving at a frequency.
Yes,
And that's
exactly.
what God is. God is all there is. So literally everything that you're experiencing is a representation of God.
Mm. So do you believe like that we are God, just
Yes,
experiencing?
yes. I know it's not even a belief. I know for a fact we are. Because God is creation. God is creative. He's creative. And not even he, it is. Source energy is creative energy.
Mm.
Energy itself is God, because that's a
Yeah.
representation of God.
Have you had any like experiences, like profound sort of experiences, whether it's on shrooms or just like in
Mm,
general, that kind of confirmed this connection or
I get a lot of downloads. It don't even be on even I
downloads?
like smoking. Like it's just crazy because
Yeah.
I do a lot of introspecting every day. It's just like my mind is constantly almost like looking for things to help become more aware in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And it's always crazy because I go through experiences in the 3D, and it's like, damn, I was just thinking about something similar to this, and it's like, there's the
Mm.
answer right there, boom. It's crazy how it works. So, um, I just think that I think for me, the most profound experience that I had was when I did LSD. And it was just me showing that I was human. Like I was able to cry. That was the first time I ever actually cried. Like I remember I tell
Ooh.
people I was a kid, my parents got a divorce. I was like 12 or 13 and a tear rolled down my face. I went to the bathroom, splashed water on my face and walked out like I never like nothing ever happened. But I was sad inside, but I wasn't going to show it. So when I was on LSD,
Yeah.
shrooms, it's like you can't, the ego can't like be macho. It's like the whole veil just comes down. And I was able to be human again. And I was able to experience and I was able to cry and I was able to release because of for so long, I was so stuck in like needing to be like this stoic, like tough, macho person.
Man.
And a man is like, I can't show emotions. Like, yes, I can because I'm human. That's the human experience. So that was very profound to me. But I always get a lot of downloads, like a lot of stuff that people would be saying is profound. It's like, bro, that's simple common sense to me because of how my mind
Yeah.
operates. Like the download with the mirror, I got that the other day, where it's just like, as kids, we're looking out, but then as we go through certain experience, the mirror faces back onto us, and we're able to see ourselves based on our parents teaching us how to be. Then
Hmm.
when you get triggered, it's like, nope, I don't want to see myself. I want to blame you. And then your mind gets activated. So a lot of the stuff it just naturally comes. But that's why I was trying to do the trip so I can have some more downloads. But it ain't happen like that. What about you?
I think every time I do like a shroom trip, I have
Hmm.
the same message with that you don't need to fear, time is an illusion. Um, yeah, like there's more to like life after like death.
Yeah, because it's not.
Um,
It's,
this 3D reality is not real.
yeah, it's not. That'd be crazy. Like I remember being on LSD and going to the store, and it's just like it's so crazy because I'm high as a kite, but everybody in the world is just living their life. Like we literally are all in our own world and living in our own. Like it's crazy, and it's just like everybody's perception of life is going to be different because it's based on how they see themselves. Like none of
Yeah,
this is real. It's literally all an illusion. Like death is not actually death. It's just rebirth. It's like
yeah,
you're not the
exactly.
same 5 year old, you're not the same 6 year old, you're not the same 7 year old. Where did they go? It just form just changes, energy just changes, form. That's
Hmm.
it. Like when a person transitions, their soul leaves their body, but their energy is still there. You can still talk to them. You can have a dream with you can smell them, you can hear them because consciousness never dies. Energy never dies. We've just been taught like, hey, once you die, you go to hell or heaven. It's like
Yeah.
it's crazy because people don't realize, and this kind of how my mind works. Your body is what feels pain, not your
Mm.
soul. Your soul can't feel pain because it's energy. So when you die, do you leave your body here on earth or does your body go with you? Because if your body doesn't go with you when you die, you won't be able to experience hell because it comes in pain. But your body, your consciousness, your soul can
Yeah.
experience pain. You don't
Mm.
have nerve endings in your soul. You
Yeah.
don't. But that's where soul came from when he dropped into the body. When the girl dropped into the body, like in the movie, you see like he tried to
Mm.
hit her, and it's like, I don't feel anything. I'm just a soul. It's just like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just.
And I love that scene where he's like, "Oh my God, pizza!" And then he tries to eat the pizza. He's like, "I can't taste anything," and he's like, "Why?"
That's why, because you need a body to have that human
Yeah.
experience. That's what we're here
Hmm.
for, just to have the human experience. And then we go back when we transition, and we choose: do you want to do it again, or you want to go to another thing, another experience? Like that's the beauty of life. But again, this matrix got so many people stuck and programmed, and it's just like, I'll just be listening. I'm just like, okay, if y'all only knew.
Yeah. But more and more people are waking up now, for
Yeah,
sure.
100%, 100%. That's why I just repost a lot of the same videos because, like, a lot of the videos that I post are so old, but people are like they weren't able to get it back then.
To understand,
Now,
yeah.
now they're getting it.
Mhm.
Now they're understanding. Or I just read comments and people are like, "You're so wrong," and I'm like, "Are you even understanding what I'm saying? What I'm saying just went way over your head because you're like
Yeah.
focusing on this, and I'm talking about that. It's something two completely different things."
I'm curious to know,
Hmm.
um, what is your like style of manifesting? Or are you just not bothered about that whole side of things and you're just going with the flow?
Manifesting in what way?
Like if you want something, like you want to buy a house or you want
Oh
a
yeah,
house,
about
like
25 acres. You about to get that. So I just put it out there. I just say this is something that I want to do, and then ta-da, it happens. Like for me, everything that I ever wanted, I'm able to experience right now because I didn't put an end goal on it. Like I thought it was gonna look a certain way,
yeah.
but then it like looking back, like damn, I'm actually doing this. I remember like when I was first getting into like talking and stuff, I used to always want to be like speak like Peter Crone. I would say like, man, I want to learn how to be like Peter Crone. I don't know if you know who he is. I'm sure
No,
you
I
probably
don't.
they call him the mind architect, and he was a huge influence on my level of awareness listening to his videos and stuff. But the way he articulates himself, he's great at what he does. And I'm like, I would want to be able to answer questions like him. And then I got to a point
Mm.
where I'm able to answer questions like him, but it's my way of doing it. It's
Yeah.
like me. So it's like even like I wanted to be able to have my own trees and grow my
Mm.
own fruit trees. I got 34 fruit trees in the back now. But it
Hey.
started by getting one. It's like a lot of the stuff I think I want to do, I almost like, okay, I kind of like, okay, I want to be able to have meat chickens. Then that's like 10 months down. Guess what? I got 15 meat chickens. Like it's how things work for me is like when I just put it out there, it happens. I don't put it out there with the expectations of it happening the way I want it to happen. I just put it out there open to experiencing it if it does happen. And I'm grateful and appreciative if it does because it's a part of what's in alignment with me. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
manifesting for me is just allowing things to be the way that they are. Like I want to be able to have this conversation with you. Guess what? Here we are. I'm like, I want to start back doing podcasts. Then you message me like, do you want to do a podcast? It's like this is kind of
Mhm.
how like just putting it out there,
Yeah.
and it allows things to happen the way they're supposed to happen versus trying to like, nope, I want to only do a podcast with this person and I want it to be this way. Like, nah, I trust life. Like if I say this is something that I'm open to experiencing and it lights me up, I'm going for it. I don't like
Mhm.
I don't live in fear anymore because for what? Why?
But like, do you just put it out there and then just go about your day, or do you like take certain specific actions towards that? Like, or like, how is the process?
Like what you mean? Give me an example. Like if I
So, like,
wanna
let's say you want to buy a house.
Mhm.
You're
Oh
just
yeah,
going to put
then
it out there. I want to buy a house. But then do you go and view houses? Do you go and
mm,
like,
I not really. Like if I say I want 25 acres, I'm gonna have 25 acres. Um, like for me, it's just putting myself in position to know how to be able to do it when it comes. So like if I get 25 acres, I want to have fruit trees. So let me start growing fruit trees now to see how it is. When I get 25 acres, I want to be able to have my own beehive. Let me start doing research on beehives. Like I'm intentional about how I go about doing things.
so
I'm
like
just not
living from the end?
Yes,
And
I'm just not intentional about the outcome being the way I want it to be. Like,
mm,
cause I don't know. Like a lot of stuff that I had to learn, like just because I want something, that don't actually mean I want it because I don't know until I have it. So like I can want the idea of it, but that don't mean I want the reality of it. So I'm the type of person where it's just like I need to know that I'm open to experiencing the things that I want, not I have an emotional attachment to the things that I want. If
mm,
that
yeah, I love that. Could you go into that a bit more deeper? So, like, for example, um, let's say you want, so you said you wanted to like be on more like podcasts and stuff.
Mhm.
So would you like put yourself more out there
No,
by
I don't even. It's crazy because like how the universe works for me is if I put it out there, like I'm just going about my daily posting, reposting, literally reposting same old videos. Somebody reach out like, man, I love this video. You want to be on my podcast? It's just like I don't how it is for me. It's just like I just put it out there and I continuously
Mhm.
be how I am. I
Yeah.
don't be how I am to get a specific outcome. I just be how I am because it's who I am. Like, and me wanting the 25 acres, I ended up running into a real estate agent, and she's like, "Hey, I'm a real estate agent." I ran into a real estate agent buying trees that I wanted. So it's just like, and then
Oh,
every
okay.
month or every day, she's sending me like, "This property is available. This property is available." So it's just like for me, it's not like I just do things that light me up because life is already
Yeah.
enough for me. So everything
So
that I, Mhm.
no, I was just gonna say, so that reminds me of like Do you know Bashar, Daryl
Yeah,
Anka?
that's my
Yeah.
guy. I love Bush. Yeah.
I love
Hmm.
him. Yeah, so he always says like follow your excitement, follow your
Yes.
passion. So you're just doing what you love, what excites you, finding the
Yeah.
trees, planting the trees, and then
Yeah.
through those things is how you manifest
The
what you
things
want.
are a billion percent. A billion. So that's why it's just like for me, people like you just go with the flow with everything. It's like yes, because the flow always works out. Like
Works,
I
yeah.
don't know, like I don't know why go, why do anything different. It's like you go with the flow of the current of the ocean, and it takes you to the place you need to go. Versus like I don't like this flow. Let me resist this. Let me fight against it. It's like why would I fight against life when life works out? Why would
Yeah.
I bring fear in this experience when I can bring love to it? Like I don't choose to operate in that frequency of limitation and lack. For what? When I don't have to.
Mm,
Like if I trust life, I know life is always gonna work out for me. So if it's not meant for me to have something that I think I want to have, I don't want it. I don't really want it because I don't
yeah.
know. It's like if it was meant for me to have it, then I would have it. If it's not meant for me to have it, I'm not gonna resist it. It's like, no, I want
Mm,
it to be the way that I want it to be. And if it's not the way I want it to be, I'm gonna resist anything that goes against that. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I trust life. I trust life 1,000%.
So then, one last question before we wrap things up.
You know?
So, with you saying that, like, I think one thing I've always struggled with is understanding because there's something called alchemy.
Hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with that, but um, I like to like turn any situation into whatever I want it to be.
Hmm.
So something that I struggled with in my last relationship was that I kept trying to turn a like dead relationship into something else
Hmm.
rather than just leaving the relationship.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's like, how do you know this distinction between like going with the flow
Hmm.
and then actually like making a decision, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it's understanding, does it light you up? Does this light me up? Like you knew from the beginning, everybody already you knew it wasn't gonna work out. You just told
Mm,
yourself that it was. You were focusing more of the things that you did like instead of focusing on the reality of it. Like a
uh,
lot of times we already know things prior to ever experiencing them. We just tell ourselves, I don't know. I remember when me and my ex broke up, I was trying to avoid her. I was literally trying to avoid her because I didn't even want to. It was during COVID. So it's just I didn't even want to be, and it wasn't had nothing to do with her. It was just more the energy that I was in. I had to learn, like, bro, I like to be to
yeah.
myself at times. I don't like to always be under somebody. But energetically, I knew it was over with. But then she started, because we was in an open relationship, she started talking to somebody else and it triggered my abandonment issue. And I'm like, oh no, I love you. I don't never want to, I don't know. But it's like energetically, my soul knew that it wasn't gonna work out. And even talking to her, she got me on doing psychedelics. She was like, she took a psychedelic trip and she knew that it wasn't gonna work out with her ex, but she still tried to force it 4 years later, and then it didn't work out. So it's just like for me, it's just like I just trust life. So like you knew the relationship was dead. You knew, but it's like understanding the energy. Why were you trying to get it to work? Because you
Yeah.
wanted a certain outcome. Why did you want that certain outcome? Because a lot of times, especially women, they have an emotional attachment to the fantasy that society sold to you. Like being a wife means you're chosen, being picked, you're special. And it's like, no, you already are special. You don't need a man to validate that.
Mm,
If a man is going to show up and be the way he's going to be that way because it's who he is. He's not going to change because you're telling him to change. He's going to change because he wants to change. But in you wanting him to change, it's like, why do you want him to change to begin with? Because if I
yeah.
accept you for who you are, why do I need you to change to be anything other than yourself in order for me to accept you? I can just do it.
But then what if like, when you have to like weigh up the pros and the cons in a relationship or like in anything in life really, like if you're trying to make a decision but there's pros and there's cons to it, like what do you like you're asking does it light you up, but there are sides to the thing that lights you up, but then there's also the other side which is the opposite. So how do you go from there?
Yeah, just understanding the balance of which one is more than the other. Like I remember talking to people and they're like, oh, we have great times together, But when we have bad times, the times are really, really, really,
Yeah.
really, 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 really bad. It's just like,
I've heard that before as well.
okay, that's a sign. If it's really, 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 really bad, then it's kind of like there you go. Because to me, healthy relationships naturally flow. It's a lot of times people think that they're supposed to be the way that I want them to be. In order for us to work out, you have to be the way that I want you to be.
Mm,
But what happens to just accepting them and learning the lesson in the experience of experiencing them? We don't care about that. And that's what I had to learn. The beauty of relationships is watching the person grow and develop into the best version of themselves
for
every day.
themselves, yes.
And it's like, I don't need to be in a relationship with you to do that. I don't need to
Mm,
possess you to do that. I don't need to restrict you to do that. The things that I value about a person, I don't need to be in a relationship to value those things about them. Because
mm,
I genuinely love. It's not coming from a place of like, hey, I'll only love you as long as you taking me on dates. I'll only love you as long as you're being X. That's transactional, and I can be a transactional person. That's just not something that resonates with me. If I can show up for you and help make your life easier, I'll do it because that's what I choose to do. You don't have to do that for
mm,
me. I'm not looking for you to be me. I want you to be you. And I'll appreciate you being you because there's a lesson there for me to experience by you being the way that you are. I find value in a person for being who they are, not for them filling my needs, not for them showing up for me. No, just genuinely you showing up as you because there's only one you in this world. And there's a reason, like I said earlier, there's a reason why we're here having this conversation right now in this exact moment. Because there's a lesson there for both of us to learn as a way to experience and grow and develop into a better version of ourselves. There are seeds that I planted in you, there are seeds that you planted in me, and those seeds will sprout just based on having this conversation.
mhm,
That's what relationships are all about. That's what love is all about. Openness to experience one another from an authentic and genuine space, not open to experiencing a person as long as they're being the way you want them to be. Because now you're putting limitations on it. And the
mm.
best version of you is you being the way that you are. That's it. Not being the way that you want that I want you to be. Because it's like my my feelings don't set the standards for how you're supposed to live your life. So
Period.
I can't make you wrong for living the life that you want to live. I can love you and appreciate you in that space. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, if I love you, I want you to take care of you and put yourself first at all times. At all
Like
times.
it. Oh, Najee, that was a really great conversation.
I
A lot
appreciate
of different emotions
a
came up for me.
different. Hey, you don't eventually you'll be like, man, I get what you're talking about now. I'm
No,
telling you,
I do get it. I do.
if once you release fear, because it's like
Yeah.
what are you really afraid of? And most of the time people are like, I'm afraid to catch not saying you, but it's like I don't want to
Yeah.
catch a STD. And it's like, is it really the STDs are you afraid of? Because if that person say, hey, I'm only having sex with people who are clean, would you be okay with that? It's like,
Mm.
no, you wouldn't be. So it's not the STD thing. It's more of the
Yeah.
wanting the person to choose you. It's the abandonment thing. I don't want to. I want to feel special. I want to feel wanted. I want to feel like I'm the apple
Mm.
of the person's eye. Why? Because you wasn't the apple of your mama or your daddy's eye at some point. Maybe you got siblings. Maybe they chose their job over you. Maybe they chose life or a career over you. Like we don't know. But a lot of times, the ways we're going about relationships is very unhealthy because we're coming from a place of fear.
Mm.
And you don't have to bring fear to everything. I promise you, bring fear to the experience when you're scared. Not bring fear to the experience when you think about something to be scared of. It don't make sense. Why do that? Why? It's the thought that's scared to you, not the person doing it. But yeah,
Okay, so to finish off,
mhm,
I have a question for you.
absolutely.
If you had one message to share with the world, what would it be?
Sylvia is amazing. She's the GOAT. She's great at what she does. Everybody should come on her podcast, book a session with her. Uh, but nah, my message to the world is outside of that. Another one of my messages to the world will be
Mhm,
learn yourself. Learn who you actually are. Question why do you believe the things that you believe in? Like,
mhm,
because a lot of times I'll use it. I ask a woman like, "Why do you want to get married?" And it's just like, I was just like, I never really thought about it. I just always was taught. Well, I didn't, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to learn your why for you. Learn it for
Yeah.
you. Like learn the stuff that actually lights you up. Like forget about anybody else. Forget about your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your husband. Forget. Do what lights you up and figure out who you are because it's meant for you to live your life. That's why you're living it. It's
Mm,
not meant for you to try to be like everybody else. It's not meant for you to try to suppress yourself, limit yourself to be another person or to get another person to accept you. No, genuinely learn you as a way to love all parts of you
mhm.
and do the things that light you up. And I promise you, life will just flow. It does. I'm telling you, it always works out. It always, even when you think it's not working out, I promise you it is.
Oh, I love that, Najee. Thank you.
No problem. I appreciate you for having me. Hey, if you ever want to do this again, let me know because I told you I just love
Yeah,
freestyling because I
honestly,
don't
I
know
could have
when.
gone on for so much more longer, but is there anything that you wanted to like promote as well? I know you
Oh,
sent me like a book or
oh
something.
yeah, I have my book, my new book, my ebook. It's called Inner Healing: The Emotional Return, Reconnecting with the Self You Learn to Abandon. So that book is one of those books because a lot of folks call me and were like, "Can you help me with this?" Kia? So I wrote the book to kind of help, like a therapy session to guide
Mhm.
people on whatever they're going through. So I tell people like the book is really designed for whatever you're going through. Open up whatever chapter, just pick a random chapter, open it up, and I promise you
Mm,
that chapter will help you with whatever you're going through because it's a perspective shift. Because
yeah.
a lot of times we don't understand it's the emotion that we don't like, not the story. So once you learn to be more present to what is it that you actually feel, your relationship to that feeling will shift because now you're not operating from the lens of judgment. And most of the time, we judge how we feel and project the judgment that we have on ourselves onto another person. And that's where we get stuck. So now your mind and your body's in alignment because your mind is judging the sensation that you feel and telling you that it's about somebody else. And your body's like, no, hey, it's not about them. It's about me. Show up for me. See me. And it's like, yeah. So that book is kind of like one of them books to where it's like it really helps bring awareness and clarity to what's going on inside of you versus focusing on the story that's happening outside of you. I always tell people when you start to have negative thoughts or you start to have a whole bunch of thoughts you don't like, because negative thoughts aren't the real thing. The thoughts are the smoke. The fire is the sensation. And most of the time, when you feel unsafe inside of your body,
Mm,
the thoughts will get activated as a way to have you focusing more on what you're thinking
yeah.
about instead of being present to what you actually feel. So yeah, my book, Inner Healing, The Emotional Return, Reconnecting with the Self You Learn to Abandon. I'm also starting to do more sessions now.
Where can we find the book?
The book, DM me because I'm having my website worked on. I
Okay.
want my website to be finished before I put it on Amazon because I know some
Yeah.
people think Amazon can terminate your website or terminate your book at any point in time and you can't get your bread. So I want to have both. So I'm getting
Okay.
my website, and it'll be healingwithnajee.com. That's almost done. And then they'll be able to get it there. And right now, if you book a consultation with me, it's $25. You get the free ebook as well as the consultation.
Mm,
So just do that in there too. Oh yeah.
I love that. And how can people DM you?
You can find me on Najee underscore 27 on Instagram, Healing with Najee, HEALING with Najee on my name. On TikTok, Facebook, Healing with Najee. So yeah, just DM me anywhere or email me. I don't really be on my emails though, because folks be DMing me more than they email me.
Love that.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot, Najee, for
no
this
problem.
conversation.
Appreciate you for having me. Thank you. You were amazing. You did an amazing job. And hey, if you ever want to do it again, just let me know.
I'm gonna just stop recording now. Let me